Yes, Venkatesh, over to you.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I would like to welcome all of you to meeting number 331 of a Speakers Den Toastmaster Club. My name is Toastmaster Venkatesh Kumar, and I will be the sergeant at arms in today's meetings. To officially start and run the meeting smoothly, here are some ground rules that we will follow during the course of this meeting. First, please put yourself on mute when you are not speaking. Second, don't interrupt while someone is speaking. If you were to move during the meeting, please turn off your camera. Third, please be mindful from addressing sex, religion, and politics during the meeting. Fourth, be attentive throughout the meeting. Support and encourage the fellow speaker, turning on your camera and warm smiles. Use Zoom reaction button to express yourself during the meeting. As, as you are aware, everyone has a mission in life. Similarly, our Toastmaster has a mission. Our Toastmaster mission is to provide mutually supportive environment so that each member of our club can develop their leadership and communication skills, which will help to boost their self-confidence and personal growth. To take the meeting forward, I would welcome our presiding officer, Toastmaster Sankhya. Toastmaster Sankhya has been making robots work in finance for 18 years, turning dull into cool. He tells stories so well that even boring number sits wants to laugh. And when he is not playing with robots or making people laugh, he is choking down on his favorite dish, biryani. Here is a numbers guy who knows how to mix fun work and a good meal. Let's give a round of applause to welcome our presiding officer, Toastmaster Sankhya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venkatesh, and a very good morning, dear Toastmasters and our lovely guests for today's meeting. And as the presiding officer for today's meeting, let me open meeting number 331 with a round of clap. And let's have a round of clap for opening today's meeting. Super. It will be fantastic, in case you can come on the video, because that gives a lot of interactions with each other. And would love to see everyone's face. Fantastic. Thanks, RK. And as we start off with today's meeting, I already got the opportunity to have an interaction and got an intro with most of our guests. And RK, you have just joined in. Would love to hear from you. Just a short about your intro and what makes you very passionate about joining Toastmaster. You're on mute.
Yeah, hi, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. You can call me Shanko. Don't call me sir, please.
Okay, Sanko.
Super.
My name is Ramakrishna.
Yeah.
I need to improve my public speaking skills. So that's why I joined this. That's it.
Super. Thank you so much, Ramakrishna. And welcome to Speakers Den Toastmaster Club.
Thank you.
Great. And now I can see a lot of smiling faces, a lot of energy coming in the meeting. And but since many of you joined the Toastmaster for the first time, really give me a history about what is Toastmaster and why it is so much passionate about, and since how long this Toastmaster fraternity is. Now, Toastmaster International is a worldwide non-profit educational organization that empowers individuals to become more effective communicators and leaders. Now, Toastmaster International was founded by Dr. Ralph C. Smedley in October 1924, when the first Toastmaster meeting was held at Santa Ana, California, and that's almost close to 100 years back. Now, currently, this organization's membership exceeds 357,000 in more than 16,600 clubs spanning across 143 countries. I'm talking about Speakers Den, which was chartered on 25th September 2012, is now almost a 10 years old Toastmaster club situated at Bangalore. Now, the interesting part about Toastmaster is that while we join Toastmaster for public speaking, because every one of us joins that, but there are two additional benefits which comes along the way. One is the leadership, and second is the networking. Because once you are a member, you can give speeches, take up roles, not only within this club, but across the globe, across multiple Toastmasters club. And Toastmaster being one of the most positive platform, we do one thing which is very critical. We break fear, the fear of public speaking, that unknown fear that what will happen if I fail or if I forget my lines? And what will other people think of me? Now, let me assure you that at Speakers in Toastmaster, we encourage you to fail because we constantly push our members that, hey, don't feel shy, speak up. It's okay to fail. And because we learn from it. But one thing which will make you perfect is practice. And to do that, you need to speak up in every meeting. Don't feel shy. Just switch on your camera and let go of that uncomfortable feeling which might be coming out right now. And when someone speaks up as an audience, we do something very interesting. You know what? We clap, because this clap is an encouragement for the speaker when they are on the virtual stage. And since it's virtual, how do we clap? Well, you can use your emojis, or you can switch on your video and clap. Can you show a round of clap for that? How do we do that? Super. Yeah, excellent. Fantastic. Now, in Toastmaster, every meeting has a theme. And today's theme is very, very special because it says my first days. Now, if I remember my first days, my first days are kind of a first love. Sometimes it goes not so good, sometimes it goes really well. And if I remember about my first day as a member of Toastmaster, I was filled with palpable anxiety. Often feels like a small fish in a vast articulate ocean. And there I was barely able to string a sentence together in public without my voice trembling. But then I reminded myself that I was in the room to grow, to conquer my fear, and to communicate effectively. Because overcoming the urge to back out, I consistently stepped up. And I, to speak into every meeting and gradually finding my voice and the confidence. Now, whenever I step into the corporate meetings, because I'm associated with the corporate, to deliver a presentation especially, I draw on the lessons from my Toastmaster times, because that reminds me every time that everyone starts somewhere and growth is a process, not a sprint. And talking about first day of the life of the first day, we have someone who is going to take us to the journey. And who is that going to be? Well, that's someone who is a Toastmaster of the day. And before I introduce the Toastmaster of the day, let me introduce her as well, because her father would describe her as a jack of trades, master of none. And if this proverb was tailor-made for her, because at the youthful age of 18, she is currently pursuing a bachelor's in political science and economics. And the motivation behind this degree choice is her love for conversation. And that's Toastmaster Devayani, who is also passionate about dancing and frequently participates in college festivals. Now, with that, let us welcome with a round of applause our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Devayani. Toastmaster Devayani, the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shanko. Shanko, is that how I pronounce it? Okay. So I clearly remember my first day on this earth. Cute as a puppy, sleeping in the arms of my mother. Well, if I continued more along this line, I feel like all of you would call me a fraud. Obviously, no one remembers first days on earth. Frankly, I don't even remember my first day in school. It was about 12 years ago, but it was such a long time back and I was such a dumb kid. But I do remember my first day in college. It was exactly almost a year ago. Tomorrow I will start my second year soon. college in my mind, it was a ticket to trendy life, one where I would be going out and all that freedom and rocking things just seemed to happen all the time because that's what everyone else said and that's what I saw on TV. For my first day in college, I had chosen what to wear 2 days back. I couldn't sleep the night before and I got ready so early that even my mother was so nervous. Once I got inside the college, I checked out every corner of the campus like it was an amusement park. I spent 15 minutes in the library voluntarily, but my absolute favorite spot was the cafeteria. It was called the Triple C. There were just tables buzzing with conversation, faces lit with smile, and just plates brimming with delicious food. I was in heaven. So my college craze continued for about a month, after which things started normalizing. But that very first day is still so vivid in my memory, like a fresh coat of paint. I think our first days in any new setting or environment is so memorable. It's heart pounding, nerves, and the anxiety and your stomach feeling all giddy. I will walk you through the few first days of my life. But for now, it's time to help our guests for whom it's their first day in Toastmasters. And I see many of them here. For their benefit, let me explain how a Toastmaster meeting functions. So every Toastmaster meeting is divided into 3 parts. The first part is the prepared speech section, where members prepare a speech about 5 to 7 minutes. But today we actually have a keynote speaker. We get it mentored and we deliver the same. The second part is a very, very fun and exciting table topic session. It tests you on your impromptu speaking skills, and everyone please participate in this. And last part is the evaluation section, where the general evaluator will give us a comprehensive report on how the entire meeting went. So let me invite our general evaluator for today. She is a qualified telecom engineer currently working in her century-old family furniture business. Certified soft skill trainer, division finalist for table topics, evaluation, and international speech contest. She is none other than Toastmaster Sonal. Over to you, Toastmaster Sonal.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. As the general evaluator, it is my duty to evaluate the entire meeting, right from the time I enter to the very end of the meeting. And it's a Herculean task. I can't do it all by myself. So to support me in my role today, we have the tag team. Could the timer please identify themselves and explain their role to us?
Yeah, good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. So I'll be working as a timer for this meeting. As a timer, I'll time table topic speakers, formal speeches, and evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using green card, yellow, and red cards, which denote specific times remaining. So the initial prepared speech, when it comes to prepared speeches, the keynote speech by Toastmaster Pranav, it would be in between 18 to 22 minutes. At 18 minutes, I'll raise the green card, and at 20 minutes, I'll raise the yellow card, and at 22 minutes, I'll raise the red card. And it's followed by a prepared speech by Toastmaster Anjani, which would be in between 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, I'll raise the green card. At 6 minutes, I'll raise the yellow card, and at 7 minutes, I'll raise the red card. This will be followed by few table topic speeches, which should limit, which should limit their remarks to not more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I'll raise the green card. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, I'll raise the yellow card, and at 2 minutes, I'll raise the red card. And similarly, when it comes to evaluations, they have to be between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll raise the green card, and at 2 minutes 30 seconds, I'll raise the yellow card, and at 3 minutes, I'll raise the red card. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Praneeth. So in addition to the timings mentioned by Toastmaster Praneeth, each speaker will be given a buffer of 30 seconds to wind up his or her speech. The next supporting role is played by the R counter. Could the R counter please identify themselves and explain their role to us?
I don't think there is a R counter in this meeting.
All right. Is there a grammarian? Do we have a grammarian?
Yes. So,
Yes.
okay. I will then introduce myself. So, thank you, Toastmaster Sonal, and good morning, everyone, to all the guests and fellow Toastmaster speakers. So, today I'll be playing the role of a grammarian, and as a grammarian, I'll pay close attention to all the speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take a note of any words or phrases which are misused during your speech. And along with this, I will also share with the team any outstanding words, quotes, saying, or thoughts that have been used. Apart from this, today I'm going to introduce, as a grammarian, I'm going to introduce the word of the day. So for today's meeting, the word is euphoria. I'll also type it in the chat in a minute, but let me tell you the meaning of this word. That is, euphoria means a feeling of intense excitement and happiness. And an example of its usage would be team was in a state of euphoria after winning the match. Having said this, you can also use the word as euphoric, and an example of its usage would be I was euphoric to find out that I had done much better in my test than I expected. I will encourage all the speakers to use the word of the day today. And then towards the end, or when called upon during the meeting, I'll give a report of the word of the day report and the grammar usage report. So thank you, everyone. Hope you have a great time. I'll write the word of the day in the chat for you to refer. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prajna. And having explained my role and our tag team, I hand it back over to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Devayani.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sonal. If the first day of college was exciting for me, you know what was more exciting and euphoric? The day before field trips. They're still so fresh in my mind. Can anyone tell me stories about their memorable first days trying to learn a new hobby or moving to a new city? I think Toastmaster, is Milan Matthew a guest or a Toastmaster? I think you were telling that you new to Bangalore, that you shifted here from somewhere else, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, could you tell us your experience, how Bangalore was to you when you first saw it? What were your expectations? Some culture shocks you had? And how was your first few months of your stay here?
Yes. So, yeah, like I told, I'm from Kerala. And when I joined Amazon, I was staying a bit far away from Karnataka, which is in Kolar. So right now I do have to come to office for 3 days a week. So that's why I'm here in Bangalore. I haven't explored Bangalore a lot, but yeah, like I had been to some malls, then I had been to some movie theaters. And yeah, like the first feeling is that it's bit a rush here. Like the traffic is there's a lot of traffic. People like we can see a lot of crowd here, right? So that's the main feeling. I didn't get any kind of excitement after coming to Bangalore. Maybe I didn't get that opportunity to explore Bangalore. Maybe there will be things out here to explore, and yeah, so that's basically my feeling. Yeah, that's it.
It's kind of sad that Bangalore is so synonymous with its traffic these days. I think Toastmaster, our guest Gautam was also, you said it's just been recently that you started working.
Oh, yeah, it's been 1 year that I started
Do you
working in
remember
Bangalore.
your first day at work and what you were feeling and how it went? And again, your expectations. Like, I'm pretty sure first days are very memorable for all of us. So how was that for you?
Yeah, it was my first day at office. It was very exciting because I got to see how what I studied seen in practical use, like manufacturing and assembly from scratch. So it was pretty exciting, and it's still exciting. And I hope to keep learning every day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, to both our guests. So moving on to the prepared speech section, we have a very special keynote speech lined up for you today. Let me call upon the evaluator, who is also the GE for today, Toastmaster Sonal, to give us the guidelines.
Okay, so the speaker will be attempting a keynote style speech, which is, I think, 18 to 22 minutes or 20 to 22 minutes.
Yeah, 18 to 22 minutes.
18 to 22 minutes. I wish the speaker all the very best.
Our speaker for today is Toastmaster Pranav. He is an analyst working at a fintech company in Bangalore. His hobbies include reading and playing badminton. He enjoys socializing and exchanging ideas and thoughts with others. To facilitate this interest, he joined Toastmasters, which provides him with these opportunities for such interaction. I actually had a lovely time meeting him in person yesterday. Oh, I'll call upon Toastmaster Pranav. Toastmaster Pranav, think right. Think right, Toastmaster Pranav.
Let me share my screen. Okay.
Toastmaster Pranav, are you with us?
Yeah. 1 minute. I had a yeah. Yeah. Am I audible and visible now?
Yes, you are.
Share my screen. Yeah. Slide. Good morning, everyone. I want to make this session really interactive. So I'm going to give an activity for you. Are you all ready? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So for around 20 seconds, just try to not think anything. For around 20 to 30 seconds. Just try that. Done?
Yes.
Yes.
Able to anybody able to not think anything for those 20 seconds? Hello? Yeah, was anybody able to not am I audible? Was anybody able to not think anything for those 20 seconds? Obviously, the thing is that you can't think it is impossible to not think any time in life. Even when you are sleeping, you are thinking something in your subconscious mind. So that is the importance of thinking. So now let me ask you another question. Why do we think? Can anybody tell the answer? Why do we think?
To make
Because
decisions.
because we want to make decisions, we want to come to a right point.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. So let me share my experience. So few days back, I I was actually sleeping in the evening. One Saturday evening, it was a weekend evening, and I was sleeping. And the thing was that I suddenly woke up. Now I was thinking, should I really be waking up or should I be sleeping? So that time a question came to my mind because I knew that I had some other work during that time. So that time I made a decision that I needed to go out and buy something. That happened because I had a memory associated with it that I needed to buy some vegetables, which was said by my mom few days back. So that idea struck me, and that is why I woke up from the bed. Now, I went to buy vegetables. I took my vehicle and I started driving. Now it was an evening time. So when I was driving, to my unluckiness, I just saw a policeman. He was standing there. How many of you had a situation where you had seen a policeman when you were driving at night? Anybody? No? Then you
Yes,
are here. Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
I've seen it.
And then what happened was, I did not do any mistake. I was not drunk or anything. But then I had to manage that situation, that problem. So I decided to actually go to the policeman and I said him, sir, I was buying the vegetables. So that is why I was casually driving because there are no vegetables in my home. And then now let me tell you one thing. Now you are all listening to me, right? You are listening to my training. You are trying to make out what I am saying. At this moment, even though you are a passive listener, you are actually thinking about what I am saying. So that is why thinking is very, very important process in your life. Now, let me tell you one thing. Now I have told about the importance of thinking. Let me tell you what are the factors which influence thinking. Let me ask the audience. Anyone want to tell the factors which have influenced what you are thinking? Anyone want to volunteer?
The
Come on.
environment we are in or the situation we are in.
Yeah, the situation. I mean, not that. The factors which influence, yeah, situation you are in is actually, you can say the circumstances you are in, right? The environment you are in. Anybody else want to say any other point?
Social factor.
Yeah, social factors. Social factors, your surroundings, your education, the education level you got. So I would like to broadly classify into three factors. I call it the three E's. Environment, like somebody said, the situation you are in. Let me tell you my experience. When I was brought up in a small village, in a small town, at around 8 years, I shifted to a new town. It was a big city. And when I went there, the problem was that I had lot of difficulty in adapting to the food style, lifestyle, and habits, the food habits, the kind of clothing which I was wearing. So now when I went to the new place, the environment changed. And I lived there for around 10 years. And believe me, when I came back to my hometown, it was a very difficult situation. I couldn't adjust there in my hometown. I couldn't manage the style of dress or food which I was eating there. So environment is a very important factor for determining your thinking. Then education, like somebody said, the social factors. Education is a social factor. Let in a all of you, right? Let me ask you one thing. How many of you in am I hello?
Yes, for now.
Yeah, okay. Am I audible, visible now?
Yeah, you are audible and visible, but your voice is breaking in between actually. So
Okay, now is it fine, right?
yeah, now it's fine.
Yeah, okay. See, the education which you have gained from your school or college. So the thing was that when I was working in my family business, the kind of people there, I found it difficult to cope up with because their level of education was different from mine. And when I worked in a corporate company, it was a different experience. So the thing was that their thinking was influenced by the level of education they had. And then the experiences. Let me ask you, how many of you here had taken a leadership role or anything? Anybody here has taken a leadership role? Come on, Toastmasters. Yes, Dhwani. Yeah.
Leadership
So now when you take a leadership role, the thing is that you get acquainted to new circumstances, new challenges. And when you handle those challenges, your ideas and thoughts change. And that is how your thinking is influenced. And then finally, we have the miscellaneous, like when you go through the social media, newspapers, or any speeches by any influential person. How many of you have seen ads by celebrities in the items you use in daily life, like Amitabh Bachchan? So when you see that, the thing is that you are influenced by the celebrity and then you tend to use that, right? So that influences your thinking. Okay. So now let me go to the thing is that each of the people here, all of you think differently. Each of them have different capabilities. So let me give the type of thinker and let's try to find out which kind of thinker we are. So now analytical thinkers. So can anybody say what are analytical thinkers? Anyone? It's easy. Yeah, Nasreen.
Yeah, I think analytical thinkers are those like who'll analyze a situation properly and then, based on all the circumstances, take a decision properly.
Yes, you are right. So can you think of any example of any person who would be an analytical thinker?
I can't think of like a person
Okay.
as such. Like, I think like all of us, like at one point, we
Yeah.
would do analytical thinking.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
when you are working, if you are a techie or something, you are an analytical thinker because you analyze and solve the problem. So the classic example is everybody know this person, right? Raghuram Rajan. So how did when he was the RBI governor, how did he take the decision? By analyzing the figure, by analyzing the GDP, he used to control the inflation rate or tell the inflation rate. So he is an analytical thinker. And like Raghuram Rajan, anybody know who this is?
Warren Buffett.
Yeah, this is Amartya Sen. Yeah, Amartya Sen. He was also an economist. And he was also a very analytical thinker because if you read his books, then you can understand the deep analysis he gives in those. So that is the kind of analytical thinkers. Now, pragmatic thinkers. Can anybody say what are pragmatic thinkers? Pragmatic. With the word, can you say? Yes, very practical. So the thing is that if you are a manager, you need to be very, very practical. How many of you here are managers? You see, if you are a finance manager, then if you are preparing a budget, you should never overestimate figures. You should never underestimate figures. So they have to be very pragmatic, and at every quarter they have to renew their decisions based on the analysis they are doing. Synthesis thinkers. What does synthesis mean? Synthesis.
Mixing.
Any
blending.
idea? Pardon?
Mixing, blending.
Yes, mixing, blending. So synthetic thinkers. So synthetic thinkers are people who have lot of creativity, lot of creative ideas, and then from multiple creative ideas, classic, because you can see how innovative the product Apple is. It is because of his idea. Yeah. So now we have the idealistic thinkers. What are idealistic thinkers? What do you think idealistic thinkers are? Anyone?
Who has the idea and think about the ideas?
No, idealistic, yeah, you are close, but like idealistic means ideal. Ideal means the very, like if you take Rama, Lord Rama, he was very ideal person, a perfect person who is seeing perfection in everything they do. They don't deviate from their standards. Ratan Tata. You see, the thing was that when the Taj incident had happened of the hotel getting blown up by terrorists, he never ever failed to pay compensation to any of the employees, and that is why they got the best award for the HR. If you remember, that happened very long back. So he was a very idealistic, he is a very idealistic person. And now, anybody know who this is? People from Kerala, I think they might be knowing this.
He's Sridharan.
Yes, he's Sridharan. So what was his quality which you think made him successful in life?
He's called the Metro.
Metro, right?
Yeah.
The thing was that,
the thing was that whatever projects he do, he would try to always finish it on time, and he did it. Let me give an example of Pamban Bridge. So when that bridge collapsed, he was given a time period of around 6 months to actually renovate that. But he did it within 46 days. So that is why he is a very idealistic person. Now, the realistic thinkers. I have told about pragmatic thinkers. So realistic thinkers is someone very close to that. The thing is, only difference is that realistic thinkers have a very short time to take decisions. Let me ask you, how many of you watch cricket here? So, if you see the captains of Indian captains, they have very realistic thinkers. And when I tell about captain, who comes the best now to your mind? When you think about a captain, if you think about realistic thinkers, yeah, Dhoni, yes, you are right. MS Dhoni. MS Dhoni. If you take the example of MS Dhoni, back in 2011 World Cup, he did a very different approach. So what happened was, he just changed the order of the batsman. When after Sehwag and Sachin got out, actually Yuvraj was to go into the field, but what he did was he went and started to bat because he wanted to keep Yuvraj in the last to save the runs, to give him confidence. So he is a very realistic thinker. So now let me ask you a question. If I ask you the question that which type of thinking is the best, which one would be your answer?
It depends on the situation that you are in.
Yes. Yeah. Situation. Right. So any other answer?
For me, I would prefer pragmatic or realistic thinkers.
Okay. Yeah. So let me tell you, the thing is that it depends on your profession and your situation. See, the thing is that if you are working as an analyst or a person who is very good in numbers or anything, the thing is that you are actually assessed on the basis of your capabilities, your number crunching capabilities. So there you have to be more analytical approach. But now, if you are a civil servant or somebody, an administrator, you have to be a pragmatic and realistic because situation come on the hand at that time, like managing disasters. So it actually depends on your situation. Now, what are the barriers to thinking? Assumptions. So the thing is that we always have assumptions. How many of you have met the sales guy who come to your house every day? How many of you had this experience of interacting with him?
I have.
So now what happens is when you interact with them, you are not interested in interacting because you are assuming that that person is going to loot you of your money. But maybe that person is may give you an idea, a new product or something from which you could actually build upon or take some idea into your mind. So never make assumptions. Now, lack of knowledge and awareness. Now, if you see the pollution which is happening in Delhi or during COVID or times, you can remember there were a lot of congregation which was happening there. It was happening because of lack of awareness. People are not aware about the negatives of the COVID situation or anything. So they are doing that. So that is why it becomes a barrier to the thinking. Now, emotions like anger or fear. If you are very angry or if you're feeling very angry now, then you will stop listening to people. Or because in that case, you are not bothered about hearing what others say. Or if you are having a fear of public speaking, then you would be having that kind of, you would not be able to think properly when you come to the stage. And then we have the confirmation bias. How many of you follow political parties here? Okay, let me tell you, if you follow a political party, even if they do anything wrong, you will try to substantiate that, right? That is called confirmation bias. Anything wrong you do, you always try to substantiate that. So, survivorship bias. How many companies out of this you know? Anybody? You might be knowing Uber, Ola, Zomato. You won't be knowing the two companies. They are the Tiny Owl and Pepperpad. What happened was, the thing was that these two companies failed when they started. So when you are thinking about any startups or anything, you will only think about Uber, Ola, or Zomato because they have been very successful. The other two companies, they have not been successful. Because of that, you will never think about the failures which they met. Now, because of the failures they met, the thing is that you need to understand their failures. Then only you will understand what mistakes you would have done, you would be doing when you are thinking. So this is also a kind of barrier to thinking. Now, how to think right? Keep observing. Observe expansively. How many of you have watched Sherlock Holmes? What is the key characteristics of Sherlock Holmes? I have already given
details very, very well.
Yeah, the thing is that his power is his observation power. So the thing is that if you want to think, he was able to think right or solve the cases because of his observation power. So if you want to get right thinking, you need to have a very good observation power. So how many of you know these two players? How many of you follow tennis?
First one is Sampras, right?
No, this first
Oh,
one
Andre
is
Agassi.
Andre Agassi, and second one is Boris Becker. Now, what happened was, some years back when they were playing the World Cup finals, Boris Becker used to beat Andre Agassi very much in like 4 matches out of 11 matches. But after that, Andre Agassi, he observed the characteristics of Boris Becker and he found that when he served, the direction in which he served, he used to put that point the tongue in that direction. So from that, he could actually predict the game of the other person, and then he actually won the game, won the next 7 games because of that. So how many of you do know about this IKEA?
It's a furniture brand, right?
Yeah, okay. So IKEA, what happened was they moved into customizable furniture because one day the founder got an idea from the customer that the table they are using, they are not able to put in their vehicle because of the leg of the table. So he from that comment of the customer, he got an idea to actually make customizable chairs and tables. So you need to listen intently to think right. So now, how many of you know about ID?
Yeah, I know. They make the batter and.
So do you know how they got this idea from? They were actually running a grocery store and they actually interacted, the person who actually put forward this idea, they interacted with the customer and got the idea of making this product because of the demand from the customer. Now, how will you think right? Ricky Ponting, do you know what was the specialty of him? When he was in the era of Lara or Sachin, the thing was that he used to play very differently. One day he was interviewed about his style of playing. The thing was that he would always play between the gaps. Whenever he played, 70% of the shots would go between the gaps of the fielder. The reason was that he always observed the gaps instead of the fielder. So that is why you need to actually focus on, if you have an obstacle in life or anything, to think right, you focus on the gaps. So Ratan Tata, as I told, he always had a standard. So if you want to think right, you need to actually show excellence. You need to actually do something with excellence. He always did something with excellence because he always wanted to be an ideal person. So if you want to think right, you need to do it excellent. So now, just I wanted to summarize, like Sir Alex Ferguson, he was actually a manager of Manchester United. The thing was that he had many qualities of a leader, a great manager. The thing was that under him, they won 2 champion league titles, 20 league titles. Do you know what was special about him? The thing was that do you know who this person was? This person is in the slide.
David Beckham.
David Beckham.
So he was actually found. David Beckham was actually found by Alex Ferguson because he used to always look for young talent of around 8 to 9 years, and that is how he thought about this players, and he bought about it. And prodigies who were 8 to 9 years, he bought into the team. So then some things which he did was, I will just briefly summarize. Like he used to do a team rebuilding every 4 years. Like he used to always encourage new players to the team. Like he never, like he used to encourage new players in the team so that they would also get an opportunity to showcase their skill. He always set a very high standard. Like Ratan Tata, he always set the players to be punctual when they arrive on the field. And then other things was he always did simulated sessions for the players so that they could actually get a real situation of the game which was going to take place. So what I want to just summarize is that to be the thinking style which happened yesterday is not what is happening today. It keeps on changing every day. Learn to observe, learn to listen, and then learn to analyze situations very well. And then you can become a great thinker. Thank you and over.
Everyone, please give a big round of applause to Toastmaster Pranav for that amazing presentation. It was so informational, and I think I myself took back so many so much information back with me, and all about the CEOs and founders and their strategies and their success stories. It was truly a wonderful presentation. Thank you so much. Next up, we have our next speaker, and I would like to call upon Toastmaster Venkatesh to give us the guidelines for the second speaker.
Devayani, sorry to interrupt, but I think he dropped out. He sent a message on the chat that I don't think he'll be able. Yeah.
Then can someone, the PO, can someone give the guidelines for Toastmaster Anjani's speech?
Anjani will not be able to deliver his speech. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
We'll jump into our table topic session.
Okay. Well, going to the table topic section, I feel like it is so similar to how you feel on first days, the nervousness, anxiety, and the shivers. And here is an opportunity for you to revisit that small dose because it's time for our table topic session. Please help me welcome our table topic master for today, Toastmaster Brijesh. He is an engineer at Atos making waves in Bangalore, all the way from the scenic Uttarakhand. Outside of work, you can catch him showcasing his skills on the cricket pitch or football field. Over to you, the table topic master for today.
Thank you, Toastmaster Devayani. So good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Brijesh Dhani. So I will be playing role of table topic master today. So I will tell you what the table topic master is. So the purpose of the topics master is to facilitate table topics where guests and members will have the opportunity to practice their impromptu speaking. I will introduce a topic and call on speakers who will be given 1 to 2 minutes to speak on the subject. So who wants to come first? Anyone from guests?
I'm fine.
Okay, Milan, you want to come first, right?
Yeah, I would also like to come.
Okay, so first we will go with Milan.
Yeah.
So your topic is who plays motivator role in your life?
So thinking about motivator, the first person that would come to my mind would be APJ Abdul Kalam. So the main reason for thinking about Kalam is that he was born and brought up in a very basic environment in a very rural area, but he thought big. He had a lot of ambitions, and he he struggled and he did a lot of hard work, and that is something I'm very much motivated about, and the kind of dedication and passion that he gives to something that he does. Okay, like whatever role you just assigned him, like he will he will give his entire commitment. He will be very much dedicated to that, and all these factors has made him a motivator. And yeah, I like, yeah, if I want to tell more about him, like, yeah, these are the main things. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Milan, for your intake. So next, who want to come? I see Pranav, right?
Yeah.
So your topic is which type of places you like to visit and why?
If I had a choice between different places to visit, then I would be visiting a hill station because a hill station is so calm. It's so cold. Let me share my experience of a visit to hill station some months back. So what happened was one day my father called, Pranav, this is going to be a new year. Let's go for a trip. Do you have any ideas in mind? So I said, Father, why don't we go to a hill station? Okay, which hill station? I said, Munnar in Kerala. So he was said, yeah, let us go together with everybody, relatives and everyone. So I said, no, it's just you, me and my mother. Because I wanted to spend some time with them. And when I went to the hill station, during the travel, being a very busy person in Bangalore, working around 9 hours, during that time when I was traveling, I got a lot of opportunity to actually interact with my father, share my experiences in my work. We had a lot of time trekking in the hills, taking a lot of photos and having sumptuous food. And then when the trip ended, I was feeling very bad because it had ended suddenly. And now I had to go to the monotonous life of going to the office every day, staying away from them in a city with lot of strangers. But then if I get any more moment to spend with them, I would prefer that I would get a day to spend with them in the hill station. So thank you and over to you.
Thank you, Pranav, for your intake. Please give a round of applause for Pranav. So let's move to next. Who want to come? I think Ajit, right? So
Yes, it's me.
So Ajit, for you, topic is who was your best teacher in your school days and why?
So first of all, good morning, everyone. Good morning, the Toastmasters and the guests as well. So thank you, Rajesh, for this chance. And yes, so who is the best teacher? Actually, so I have actually so many fabulous teachers in my life, and actually really respect them. I really follow their leads. Maybe because of them only I'm here where I mean where I should be, and probably I'll be, I mean, wherever I'll be going actually so far, or actually whatever I have achieved so far, and wherever I'll be going into the next, I'll still remember the person who has motivated the most, and I still respect them actually from the bottom of my heart. But coming to teachers specifically from the school, actually there are so many people actually that I should be mentioning the names. But if you say actually one name, so I'll be saying about one teacher actually who died recently. So rest in peace, my respected teacher. But yes, so he is the headmaster of our school. He is the backbone of the school. The school actually it has been started maybe around 30 years, and he is the sole person who has taken up this school from the very ground level to the topmost of this district. And actually he's enough influencing. Actually, I mean, his words are really influencing. His character is totally mesmerizing, and yes, he has a really actually radiant face that you can see. So each time that you will see him, you will see like actually a happy smiley face inside that, actually a bit of like terrifying face as well, actually just for the students and a bit actually so much maybe. So yes, he's my favorite one. And as actually he passed away recently, so I'm actually sharing my prayers to him. And yeah, so I'm deeply motivated by him. So thank you.
Thank you, Ajit, for your intake. Give him a round of applause for his intake. And love to hear about your best teacher. Thank you. So moving to next, I think Nazreen, right?
Yeah, yes. Hi, Brijesh. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Najreen. So for you, topic is how you remain motivated.
Oh, okay. So for me, first of all, like my greatest motivator is my dad. So he's someone who always keeps me motivated. Like whenever I'm feeling down or something, he always motivates me and always keep me going. But then it is always hard to be motivated all the time. But then I just make sure that, like, I'm giving my best. And I think talking to many people also helps me. So I usually talk to my friends whenever I'm feeling low so that they could motivate me or something of that sort. Yeah. So most of the time I'll just go to my dad, like, to get motivated. Yeah, so that's it.
Thank you, Najreen, for your
Thank you,
intake.
Brijesh.
Give her a round of applause. So next, who want to come? Devyani.
Yeah.
Okay. So for you, the topic is which role you like the most in Toastmaster meeting.
I think it's definitely what I'm taking up right now, the Toastmaster of the day, because it is kind of like stringing all the pieces of a Toastmaster meeting together in a cohesive manner. And I feel like it is also one of the roles where you get to interact with so many people and you get to know their thoughts, and I get to be in control for most of the meeting, and I get to ask questions and see how people are thinking about it. And it's always, every time I take up this role, it's actually just my third time taking up this role, but in every time I come up with questions, right, I expect a few answers to come, but every time I do it, it's always a very different answer than what I was thinking. And I think that's the beauty of this. And as a Toastmaster of the day, I get to choose the theme, and that's also such a fun creative process for me, because I think, okay, what can I do now, what kind of questions can I ask, how can I interact with the audience. And I want to make it for the table topic master of the day, because sometimes the table topics would be related to the themes. And overall, I think it's just a beautiful role to take. Maybe if it weren't for TMOD, I would be taking up grammarian. I love doing the whole Brennan Martin. I did till 12th grade, and I think just looking up and carefully listening to people and the phrases they use, not only it helps me so much, because I learn so many words and phrases, interesting like that, and choosing the word of the day. So yeah, definitely table Toastmaster of the day and the grammarian. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Devyani, for your intake. Give her a round of applause. So moving to next, who want to come?
Brijesh, I would encourage you to give the topics to the non-role takers, minor role takers, including members of speakers then.
Okay, Sonal, thank you. So, Dr. Pasha, want to come?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So your topic is what's your trigger point and how you get angry?
Okay. So my trigger point is if I am talking to someone, if I am discussing with someone, if anyone come in between and interrupts, so it angers me a lot, because when we are talking to say my from since childhood also, so I always used to be keep quiet when someone is talking. I am a good listener. So if I am discussing with someone, or if I'm talking to someone, if someone comes and interrupt in between, I will get angry. That is the most this angriest point. to me.
So thank you, Dr.
Yes,
Pasa,
thank you.
for your intake. Give him a round of applause, guys. So moving to next, from guest, anyone want to come? I see Inderjeet. You want to come?
Yes, Bridges. Yeah, sure.
Okay. So for you, topic is which state you like the most and want to go there?
State. I like state of UP. There I want to go and had fun there. Means have a fun there because my hometown is also UP. So I wanted to go there and take a fun with my family. My native family is there also living. My parental family is also living there. So UP is a there are most of temples also there. Last time I visited in the Vrindavan, there are lots of temple I saw and I went it there to watch many temples. So UP is my best place to went. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Inderjeet, for your intake. Give him a round of applause. Okay, so last topic for today's is who want to come? Okay, Gautam Rajesh, right? Okay, so your topic is what's your favorite game in your childhood and why?
My favorite game is football. So why? Because it involves so much of strategy and everything, and it involves everybody who is in the game. It also improves stamina and above all things, strategy skills also. So, and it is also fun to play. So that is why football is my favorite game. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Rajesh, for your intake. So that's it from my side. And back to you, Toastmaster Devayani.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Brajesh, for that table topic session. So I
Thank you.
have stayed in Bangalore for about 13 years now, but this city still surprises me with new things. My recent discovery was the Museum of Art and Photography up in MG Road. I absolutely love going there and I keep falling in love with the city more and more. And another, I also love traveling, and I think going to new cities and vacationing there also blows my mind every time because there's such different cultures and different people, and it's it's very it's very shocking that even though we just some of us are just thousands of kilometers away, the way we live is so different. Does anyone have any vacation stories to share, how it was on the first day in a new country or in a new city? Toastmaster Nazreen, do you travel a lot?
Hey, oh, hi Devyani. Yes, I do.
You do? Where was your recent vacation?
My recent vacation was to Italy.
Whoa, please tell us about that. How was
Yeah.
it when you got off that airport and your first look at the city of the country?
Yes. So I went to Italy during May. So it was my first time going to Italy, and I was really excited for the trip. So the first time that I landed, I actually was surprised to see a very dirty city. I expected it to be quite clean and all, but it was not that clean. You could see, litter everywhere. So that was like very surprising for me. But then Italy in general, it was very beautiful. Like the food was the best part, I could say. Like I got to taste like the authentic pasta and pizza. And I think the best part was that I didn't feel bloated after anything. So usually when I have Italian food from here, I feel like very bloated and I feel unhealthy in general. But there, the quality of the food was so good. what I love the most. And the people, they were not as friendly as I thought they would be. But then, yeah, they were quite nice, but then they were not that welcoming too. But yeah, and most of them didn't speak English also, so which was a bit difficult for us. And but the country was like so damn pretty. Like I would love to go there once again.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I think it's always in everyone's bucket list to have an Italian summer because of
Yeah.
social media and etc. Yeah. Toastmaster Pawan, where was your last vacation?
My last vacation was, I guess, Bihar. So,
Oh,
not a vacation, but then my friend's sister's marriage was there. So probably I visited there. I was
was
just
it
getting,
your first time in Bihar?
yeah, it was the first time.
Oh, please tell us about Bihar. I don't. I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't. We know very less about Bihar, I guess, as a state. So please enlighten us about how your first experience in Bihar was.
The first experience, it was quite good. People were welcoming, and we were damn too friendly, I can say, and food was also amazing. A different kind of food. What we expect in Bangalore, so it's totally different. You can get this gangs of Wasepur feeling. when you enter. It was quite nice. I was there for a week, so visited few different cities, I guess. Yeah, and then it was nice. Overall, it was nice.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. To both Toastmaster, our guest Nazreen and Toastmaster. Sorry, Pawan, are you a Toastmaster or a guest?
I am a guest, I guess. And
Oh,
I'm not sure.
okay.
This is the first time I'm attending.
Oh,
So I'm
okay.
not sure what I
So many first timers here. I love that. And I love the theme is also first days. And I guess I'll be recalling my vacation stories in the meanwhile when we have our general evaluator on the stage to present her report. So please put on our hands together for our GE Toastmaster Sonal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Devayani. Before I enter the meeting, did someone take note of what was happening? Did we have another general evaluator? Okay, so I walked in when Toastmaster Sankhya was giving his presidential address, in between his presidential address. And what I liked about it was that he's somebody who has the control. He's somebody who ensures that he has the control of the audience. And he was talking, I think, about the theme of, or not the theme, he was talking about how the movement came into inception, how the movement was incepted in the year 1924. I think that's what he was talking about. I wasn't there throughout his presidential address. So I think he's done a good job. I think Venkatesh was the Sergeant at Arms, right, Venkatesh?
Yes.
Yes, and Venkatesh, as usual, he does a brilliant job. So can we have a huge round of applause for Venkatesh, our Sergeant at Arms, who's playing the role of the Sergeant at Arms for the very first time today? Can we have a huge round of applause for the Sergeant at Arms and the presiding officer of today, Toastmaster Sankhya, who then passed on the baton to our very cheerful, upbeat Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Devayani. What I really like about Toastmaster Devayani, the way she conducted her role was she's so cheerful, she's pleasant, she disarms people, she's constantly smiling. She selected a theme that was relatable. She roped in the audience by asking constant questions. She ensured that we were invested in the meeting. Though it's an online meeting, we still had this feeling of deep interaction because she made it so interactive for us. She constantly kept asking questions and ensured that we were present in the meeting. She stitched the meeting very well together. She showed that she had presence of mind when Anjani had to drop off, and then we quickly went into our next session. So can we have a huge round of applause for our very eloquent Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Devayani, for conducting the meeting so smoothly. We then had our prepared speech section. The first speech was by Toastmaster Pranav, and I am his individual evaluator. So I'm running multiple hats today. So now I will go into the evaluation of Toastmaster Pranav's speech. Toastmaster, firstly, can Praneeth, our timer, tell us how much time he took?
He took 28 minutes, 25 seconds.
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Praneeth. Now, Toastmaster Pranav delivered a keynote style speech. I think it's a level 5 speech, and he did it very well. He spoke about a topic which all of us could relate to, think right. And he told us about how we make decisions, how we think, and how to think right. Now, what really stood out for me in his speech was one, of course, the relatability factor. Second, how he poured his heart out by narrating anecdotes that were deeply personal to him, how he was born in a remote village, and all of that. And what the other factor that stood out for me was he made it very interactive by giving us examples that we could relate to, like MS Dhoni, a Metro Man, Amartya Sen, Ratan Tata, and he took us along that journey by constantly asking us. It was relatable. Probably if he asked us about people we don't know, the relatability factor would have been really low. So I liked it. It was nice, and to hold our attention for 28 long minutes is not easy. And how did he do that? By constantly engaging us in conversations, by constantly asking us questions and keeping us on our toes. He always provoked us to think. Now, if I had to offer a few suggestions to Toastmaster Pranav, one is to get your resources in alignment prior to the start of the meeting. 28 minutes we had to listen to you. So, there was a few technical glitches that you had to battle. So something that you could have taken care of. And the second thing is your timing. Your speech was supposed to be between 18 and 22 minutes, but you took 28 minutes. We were fortunate that we didn't have another speech. Otherwise, your speech has encroached on somebody else's time. Somebody else would have to cut short their timing just to accommodate your speech. In sports, they say you have to stay within the line. In speeches, we have to stay within the allocated time. The hallmark of a good speaker is to make your point within the allocated time. You overshot by not 1 or 2 minutes, but more than 6 minutes. So that's something that you can take in your forthcoming meetings. In contest, even if you take 1 second extra, you will be disqualified. So that's something that you can take care of. Can we have a huge round of applause for Toastmaster Pranav, our only speaker for today? I'd like to now I would like to finish the table topic master and then come to the tag team report. Our table topic master was Toastmaster Brijesh, and what I liked about Toastmasters Brijesh, the way he conducted this session was he firstly told us about the timing guidelines, why table topic session is important. He conducted it very well. He also gave us topics that we could talk on. Again, the hallmark of a good table topic master is to give topics that the speaker, a member can speak on. If you give us a very challenging topic, members will not be able to speak on. And that is undesirable because we have to get the audience to talk. The only suggestion for you is to consider the distribution of the topics. Because Pranav, who was the speaker, who already spoke for 28 minutes, was given a topic. Of course, you asked him to volunteer. You didn't pick him. You asked him to volunteer. Again, the table topic, TMOD was given an opportunity. Again, you asked her to volunteer. I would suggest you to give the non-role takers, the minor role takers, and then the major role takers. So that everybody here has been given an opportunity to speak. We would not want anybody, be it a guest, be it a member, to walk out of the meeting without having spoken. And so how you distribute it is a choice that you have to make. But please ensure that everybody is spoken, at least for a minimum of 1 minute. So that is the responsibility of a table topic master. Maybe you can incorporate this from the forthcoming meetings. Otherwise, thank you for conducting such a smooth session, giving us thought-provoking topics, and ensuring this session was conducted smoothly. Can we have a huge round of applause for our table topic master, Toastmaster Brijesh? Now, I'd like to take the report from the timer, Toastmaster Praneeth.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. So when it comes to prepared speeches, the keynote speech by Toastmaster Pranav took 28 minutes and 25 seconds. And when it comes to table topic speeches, Toastmaster Milan took 1 minute 9 seconds, and Toastmaster Pranav took 1 minute 40 seconds. Toastmaster Ajit took 1 minute 50 seconds. Toastmaster Nazreen took 43 seconds. Toastmaster Devayani took 1 minute 40 seconds. Toastmaster Dr. Pasha took 55 seconds. Toastmaster Indrajit took 43 seconds. Toastmaster Gautam took 30 seconds. And when it comes to evaluations, TM Sonal for the evaluation of keynote speech took 2 minutes 40 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Praneeth, for your very elaborate yet concisely stated report. I'd like to now take the grammarian's report from Toastmaster Prajna.
Yeah, thank you, Sonal. So I'll present my report in three sections. So first one would be is who are the speakers who use the word of the day. So I could find Devyani, who used the word of the day euphoria in her speech. The second section would be the improper grammatical usage or the suggestion for improvement. So this section will take some time, so please bear with me. So I'll start with Pranav, our speaker for the day. He mentioned as to my unluckiness, which could have been the better use would have been unfortunately. Anyone want to tell? You can mention. You can. So he mentioned it as if anyone want to tell when he was asking a question to the audience. You can ask. You can start with a question. Would anyone like to share? The next one is how many of you had taken the role of leadership? The better usage would be how many of you have taken a leadership role? Then the next sentence or phrase that he used, you have to be more analytical approach. The right usage is you need to have a more analytical approach. The next phrase that he used was so in the context of a tennis player, when he was quoting the example of two tennis players, he mentioned that used to beat Andreas very much. Instead of that, you can mention used to beat Andreas consistently. So the next speaker, Toastmaster Brijesh, while addressing for the table topics, you mentioned whenever you were addressing any member, you mentioned want to come. Instead of that, you can mention that if you are addressing a specific person, like if I'll take my example, if you're addressing me, you can directly say, I would like to invite Toastmaster Pragya to take up the next topic. Or if in case you are asking anyone to volunteer, so you can ask Toastmaster Pragya, would you like to volunteer next? Next is Dr. Pasha, Toastmaster Pasha. You mentioned in your speech, it angers me a lot. Instead of that, you could have used it agitates me or it makes me furious. So this is about the second section. The third section is list of the quotes or thoughts, words or sayings that I liked or as a grammarian I liked and would like to share with you, which were which stood out for me today. First of all, first of all, I'll talk about speaker Toastmaster Pranav, who presented his speech. So the words or phrases that he used were pragmatic, never make assumptions. You would always try to substantiate that, which was used in the context of when the political parties, if in case they do wrong and you want to advocate for them, you would always try to substantiate that. Next was observe expansively. And coming to Toastmaster Devyani, so the phrases that she used, which really touched me, were revisit the small dose of that feeling of anxiety, and making waves in Bangalore, stringing all the pieces in a cohesive manner. Coming to Toastmaster Pranav, when he was speaking for his table topic, was sumptuous food. That was one of the phrases that stood out. For Toastmaster Sonal, there were a couple of phrases which really which stood out for me, where the movement was incepted, wearing multiple hats today, poured his heart out by sharing anecdotes and thought-provoking. So thank you, everyone. This was my report for the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prajna, for that very, very exhaustive report. My only suggestion for you is when we mention the not so good usages of the English language, let's refrain from mentioning the name of the speaker, because it could go on to demoralize and deter somebody when you said you used an improper usage of the English language. But when they are mentioning something good or noteworthy, let's highlight their names, because it acknowledges the effort that they've taken to use the good usages of the English language. We are here to lift people up. This is not just for Prajna, for all of us. We are here to lift people up and to kind of encourage them, not to deter them from coming back on stage. With this, we come to the end of the general evaluation report. I hand it back over to Toastmaster Devayani.
Thank you so much, GE, Timer, and Grammarian. Thank you for your reports. I hope you all take that into consideration and work on it for our next meeting. So there is one more first day story from my diary that suits this theme, and that is my first day in Toastmasters. I joined about in April end. Okay. So I read and heard a lot about Toastmasters, especially because my mother used to be a Toastmaster, and that it helps you overcome your fear of public speaking and learn leadership skills. So my stage fright bordered on psychotic levels. If you could actually physically see my legs shiver sometimes on stage. So before arriving on the Zoom call, I had confirmed with the then VP membership twice that you're sure, right? I will not be called to speak on my first day. And just to be sure, when I even entered the call, I cross-confirmed with like 2 other members of the club that are you sure I won't be made to speak, right? So I did not speak in the table topic session that day, but no one told me that a small guest introduction was expected, and it threw me away. I was so nervous about it, but somehow I managed to blurt out some unimportant details about myself, and I rushed to switch off my video and audio right after that. But thankfully, things are way better now, and it's all thanks to the support and motivation of my fine Toastmasters club back in Gabby's. So since we have a lot of guests and first-time guests, I would love to hear how your experience was today. And let's hear it from all our new guests. Toastmaster Pawan, you said you were new.
Yeah, this is my first session. So my manager, recommended me to join this. He introduced me rather to Toastmasters, and asked me to go through the website and stuff, and then and gave, I guess, Sankya's number to talk to him and join. So the main reason I'm here is because I guess again stage fear. I want to improve my public speaking skills. Yeah, nice. So that's me. Yeah, so no.
Thank you, Pawan. Now, Nazreen, you raised your hand. Would you like to share your thoughts?
Yeah, hi. So today, since it was my first session, like I said, even my mom also was in Toastmasters. So through her, I got to know about it. Even I wanted to overcome my fear of public speaking. And even when I'm speaking, like physically, my legs will be shivering. I'll be like even sweating. So that it was that bad. So, but then I was like, I should go for it. And then hearing you say that even your first day you were like very anxious. And then hearing you speak like very fluently right now, so that motivates me a lot. So hoping to overcome this fear that, yeah.
Thank you so much, Nazreen. That's so nice. I think Gautam, you're also new. It's your first time as a guest too, right?
Yes, this is my first time. This was a wonderful session. I had a stage fright when I was small, very small. I really wanted to improve at this stage of my life, and I think in future Toastmasters will be a key for me to improve my communication skills and how I present to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you to all our guests. I hope you do take that membership up and join the Toastmasters fraternity. I think it's such a beautiful community at the end of the day, which really helps you learn, unlearn, and relearn, and helps you really grow. So I think that's it from me today. I absolutely love being the Toastmaster of the day, and many more first days to come for all of us, huh? Toastmaster Sonal, sorry, where is the PO?
I am the PO.
Okay.
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Devayani. Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Devayani, for conducting the session so smoothly. Before we wind up, would any of the guests or members like to share their thoughts, experiences?
This is Veeranjanay, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm attending this kind of program first time. I think you might also know this kind of application. Like, I have been using a kind of application which is freely available in Play Store called Hello. I have been practicing since from 3 years. Okay, what is the beautiful thing about after attending this seminar is that you are giving some feedback for the guest, whether it may be for guests or it may be for Toastmasters. That's a really good thing, what I observed. And I got to know about this Toastmasters. One of my friends suggested this, and I hope this will help me too. And that is that's a really very productive way to improve anyone's communication. Because I'm also practicing from long days, but a little bit sometimes I also stuck somewhere here and there. Nobody is correcting me. That is a bad thing, what I can say for each and every beginner. Yeah, thank you for giving this opportunity to share my few thoughts.
Thank you, Toastmaster guest Veeranjanaya. If you would like to join the club, please get in touch with us. We would like to have you on board if you're interested. Anybody else? Anything else? Yes, Ajit, you unmuted yourself.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for that. Actually, yes, I unmuted because actually I had some suggestion. Actually, not the suggestion. I had actually one curious question actually just to ask you guys. Like, actually, are you planning to go on offline as well? I mean, I guess actually last time it was offline.
Hybrid because some of our members are online, and so we will meet hybrid, but we will never. I don't think we'll anytime in the near future will be completely offline.
Okay, no issue actually. So this is the second time that I'm joining this speakers den, and it was really, I mean, enjoyable actually. So I really had my good time. I thought like I will miss the time. I'm actually really punctual actually. I should be join. I mean, I normally plan to join actually on time. So I just actually came from the marathon actually, and then I thought actually probably it would be too late, but no, it wasn't. So it was so enjoyable.
I'm so glad you liked it. I
And thank
remember
you so much, Sonam, and then thank you,
please do
Devyani.
coming back for more meetings, and please get in touch with us in case you want to join the club.
Yes, I'm in.
Yes.
Okay.
So if there are no further questions or anything people want to share, we can wind up. Yeah. Venkatesh, would you like to share your experience first time as Sergeant at Arms? Oh, he's dropped off. Okay. Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. With this, I adjourn meeting number 331. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Sophia.
Thank you. Bye.